Welcome back, guys. I absolutely just could not resist covering this article and some comments made by an ex-SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission lawyer, who essentially is saying that Binance is inevitably going to fail and that you're going to have bank runs and that it is going to go and end in the same way as FTX. Now, I find myself increasingly defending Binance and CZ, and I do believe there is an attack on Binance after the crash of FTX, and they want to get rid of Binance and CZ so that they can come in and put their own men or women in the sort of positions where they need them. I feel like, do you remember that thing, that guy that was like, leave Britney alone? I feel like we should start a leave Binance alone. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. But this is just absurd. I mean, we saw the US government send a letter to CZ, and I can't remember the other individual who was in question as well, basically accusing him of money laundering to criminals $10 billion and accusing him of everything: fraud, theft, illegal this, illegal that. And I'm just like, and they referenced articles. Now, this is the latest, guys, and I think you're going to find this interesting. So Binance is FTX Redux. Bank runs seem inevitable, ex-SEC lawyer says. With US lawmakers on high alert after FTX, the SEC's former chief of international enforcement is worried about a potential Binance bank run. So bank run is when people go and withdraw their funds and the funds aren't there for them to withdraw. The idea of it being a run is the fact that this usually happens all at once. People panic, they go and try and withdraw the funds, and the funds aren't there. That's a bank run, essentially, kind of what happened with FTX. So John Reed Stark, any kind of, not going to make that joke. A former attorney for the US Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and staunch crypto critic, has labeled Binance a shadow bank that mints its own counterfeit currency while providing financial services with little US regulatory oversight, even though they've tried to get regulatory oversight, but it hasn't been granted. Here's what the SEC are doing. They're going, we need to regulate you. And these companies are going, okay, well, what can we do? And they're going, we're not sure. We can't tell you. Well, how the hell are we supposed to get regulated if you don't give us any kind of insight? You've not classified these as securities. So, right now we're waiting for regulatory clarity, and that's going to propel this industry from the $1 trillion mark to the tens, if not hundreds. And you'll certainly see hundreds of dollars worth of value be moved around and operate on the blockchain. I am convinced of that, guys. So if investors lose confidence and rush to the exit, a Binance bank run could cause devastating investor carnage, the former SEC executive tweeted Monday. Speculation. A bank run occurs when customers lose confidence in a financial institution and rush to withdraw funds, often leading to the firm's collapse. FTX crumbled under more than $8 billion in customers' withdrawals through early November. Binance have done more than that. When all the allegations have been coming out from Binance, they dealt with significantly more than $8 billion in terms of withdrawals and honored every single one of them. It's just, it very much feels to me like they're trying to get CZ and Binance out of the way. Probably one of the last good guys in the crypto space. And it's a shame, to be honest with you. I genuinely do feel that way about it. And we have said, actually, it's like us, for example, myself, I came out and made a YouTube video the second the BUSD with Paxo news dropped from the SEC. We said, just get out of BUSD, go and find another stablecoin. You just don't want the inconvenience. And Binance could be that as well, because they have a target on their back, big time. So stablecoin issuer Tether and more recently Binance stablecoin partner Paxo have also experienced what could be described as a bank run over the past year. Surge in demand, cash redemption, and no, so this is not a bank run because they honored it. It's not a bank run if they managed to honor the even this article is slanted towards this. So those those entities have so far handled redemptions, and Binance itself has managed to meet withdrawal demand over the past few months, albeit with some interruptions to particular banking channels. Yep. Still, Binance is an exchange, a crypto exchange, not a stablecoin issuer or a bank. Unlike a traditional bank, Binance is not subject to the same regulations and does not hold deposits in the same way, making the possible consequences of a run even more severe, Stark said. That doesn't make much sense, but we can talk about that in a second. He pointed to FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, and Voyager, having no understanding, by the way, of how these companies were run and what the actual underlying issue was, as a warning for what might happen to Binance if it couldn't handle a potential bank run. Customers could be denied funds, making them unsecured creditors in bankruptcy proceedings, which could take months or even years to play out. According to Stark, in order for exchanges to operate properly, they need regulatory oversight, audits, inspections, insurance, net capital limits, commingling rules, licensure of individuals, and other regulatory protections. I agree with what he's saying there. Exchanges need to get regulated because they're centralized entities that are saying that they have something and are honoring something. There needs to be a degree of clarity and standards that they are held against for consumer protection. But I am sure that if you had given those and done this sooner rather than dragging your feet and literally allowing it to happen so that you can come in and say, oh, well, we told you so, rather than prevention is always better than cure. And actually, one thing that you'll notice with the kind of powers that be is they like to be the cure guys, not the preventers, even though it's preventable. And they like to do that because then they can say, okay, well, we let you try it your way, now we're going to try it our way. Whereas things have been done in your way because you gave lack of regulatory clarity thus far, and this is why we've ended up in the issue that we've ended up in. Binance has previously asserted the legitimacy of its operation, for sure, and has emphasized commitments to adhere to all relevant regulators. They have indeed, though it has often run afoul with multiple regulators worldwide. Yeah, it's because you've not given the clarity. Bankrun or not, Binance is under scrutiny. Starts concern amid growing fears from the US Senator of money laundering and other threats to US national security, including progressive Democrat Elizabeth Warren, who demanded Binance hand over its records last week. I'm going to make a joke there again, but I'm not. So your company's apparent attempts at evading enforcement of anti-money laundering laws, security laws, information reporting requirements, and other financial regulations cast serious doubt on the stability of legitimacy of Binance. You've not told them what they need to do, and its related entities, and on your commitment to your customers, Warren wrote alongside two other senators. Binance, the top cryptocurrency exchange in the world by trading volume, is also expecting to pay fines in the US over the close relationship between two trading firms which operate on the platform, and Changpeng Zhao. So the Wall Street Journal detailed Monday how Binance executive cautioned fellow employees in 2019 chat that legal action by US regulators could have catastrophic consequences for the company and its leadership. Interesting. Binance and Stark did not respond immediately to Blockworks' request to comment. Yeah, of course not. CZ's actually been very vocal on Twitter about all of this. This is just 100% an attack on the biggest player. If you give, and this is the thing, regulators, again, are asking for people to get regulated when they have no idea what they've got to do. It's crazy what's going on right now, but it is kind of like a hostile takeover. There is an extremely bullish undercurrent. Again, like I said, it's regulation that allow all the institutional money to... We talk about this wall of money that comes into crypto. It comes into crypto through regulation. That's what happens. Because regulators essentially will will essentially give green lights to the JP Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, the BlackRocks, you name it, and then they'll all go and start, trying to monopolize it and monetize it, and it just grows into an industry that becomes unstoppable, and then big companies use it, and, it's insane what we're about to witness. And unfortunately, there's going to be some teething problems as we go through that sort of birthing canal into a regulated industry, which is where crypto is heading. People say that it's not going to get regulated, and how can it? in the US and the UK, it will do, providing that the powers that be and the governments that are already in place stay in power. You will have a regulated crypto space. There's very, very bullish connotations to it. Also some negative ones in terms of a number of things like freedom, sovereignty, and a load of other things. So I just thought I'd cover it. I know you guys find these sort of updates interesting. If you have enjoyed the content, I like as always appreciate those a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.